I got a new pair of gloves today, but they're both lefts. On the one hand, it's great, but on the other, it's just not right. Today, I'm going to recap a 2015 action drama film called The Squad. The film opens in the bustling metropolis of Paris, where a series of bold and audacious crimes have thrust the city into pandemonium, instilling a pervasive fear among its residents. Out of this darkness and disorder, a beacon of hope arises in the guise of an elite police squad referred to as Antigang. This exceptional team of law enforcement officers, led by the seasoned yet unconventional Sergeant Buren, stands committed to restoring tranquility and safety to the city they hold dear. In a later scene, the anti-gang unit trails criminals to a warehouse they plan to burglarize, successfully intervening. We soon get a deeper look into the life of Serge Buren, a seasoned cop renowned for his unusual tactics and unwavering pursuit of justice. His reputation precedes him, and he's acclaimed for his fearlessness and steadfast dedication to his city's safety. Interestingly, the anti-gang unit consists of ex-criminals who've opted for redemption. This team brings a distinct outlook and expertise to the fight against organized crime in Paris. They're a formidable force, merging streetwise acumen, resolute determination, and a profound comprehension of the criminal psyche. At one point, the team convenes at a local restaurant to mark the birthday of Manu, a newcomer to the squad who has yet to be shot. As they jest about their own experiences with bullets, a woman named Margaux steps out for a smoke. Buren joins her, confessing his exhaustion with concealing their romantic involvement, though Margaux believes their clandestine relationship is best kept as it is. Subsequently, Buren meets an old colleague and friend in a car for a private conversation. His friend discloses the existence of a bank harboring the fortunes of countless global billionaires. Grateful for the tip-off, Buren plans to pay the institution a visit. The following morning, Buren wakes in the apartment of Cartier and his wife. As she exits for errands, Buren and Cartier head for the bank disclosed by Buren's friend. During the ride, Cartier admits he's aware of the secret affair between Buren and Margaux. Buren declines to discuss it, insisting their focus should remain on their duties. Upon arriving at the bank, Buren quizzes Cartier on his hypothetical approach to a heist. After identifying the bank's vulnerabilities, they're confronted by the bank manager. Buren candidly points out the bank's appeal to potential robbers, suggesting the security measures be enhanced before making his exit. Following this, they return to police headquarters where they serve as officers. At the precinct, Buren crosses paths with Margaux and her husband Becker. As the squad watches a viral video of themselves, Buren observes Margaux stepping into Becker's office. Before long, it becomes apparent to everyone that Becker has assumed the position of the precinct's new chief, effectively replacing Buren, a development that Buren finds difficult to stomach. Becker subsequently communicates that the actions of the anti-gang squad have been casting the police force in an unfavorable light, necessitating the cessation of their operations. Simultaneously, a band of thieves invade a jewelry store, instigating a robbery. Among those present is a terrified woman. One assailant approaches her and heartlessly shoots her. Buren, upon arriving at the crime scene, recognizes the imperative nature of his mission. As Buren and Cartier convene in the office, the air buzzes with tension and expectancy. Buren discloses recent incidents of audacious thefts across Paris, masterminded by an infamous offender named Kasper. He presents detailed profiles on Kasper, including his criminal past, his method of operation, and his gang's involvement. He underlines the pressing nature of their task, drawing attention to the destruction Kasper's felonies have wreaked upon the city and the importance of reinstating peace and security within the community. Cartier acknowledges that this isn't merely another case, it's a struggle for the heart and essence of the city they cherish. Steeped in resolve, Buren and his team scour the city, visiting the diverse crime scenes impacted by Kasper's thefts. They scrupulously scrutinize the evidence, even interrogating a former thief to unearth who aided Kasper in his criminal endeavor. Their compassionate yet concentrated technique aids them in extracting crucial information, allowing them to assemble the pieces of Kasper's illicit empire. In the course of their investigation, the team uncovers the identity of a criminal named Fedor, deciding to delve into his activities further. Having tracked down Fedor's whereabouts, they opt to pay him a visit. Buren, Cartier, and Manu maintain surveillance on Fedor's residence from a parked pickup truck. Later, Buren retreats to the vehicle, where Margaux joins him, and they share a passionate kiss. Meanwhile, Cartier observes through the surveillance camera that Kasper has entered Fedor's residence. This provides conclusive evidence of the two criminals' collaboration and enables them to make an arrest. Rallying the team, Buren prepares to execute a covert entry. After forcing entry, the armed team searches the premises for Kasper. To their dismay, the criminal has already fled, driving away in his truck. Unfazed, Buren jumps into his BMW to pursue him. He informs the rest of the team about Kasper's escape. Quick on his feet, Cartier commandeers the truck and blocks Kasper's route, resulting in a vehicular flip. The anti-gang unit apprehends Kasper, transporting him back to the precinct. At the station, Buren, simultaneously seething and triumphant, locks eyes with Becker, demonstrating his capture of Kasper without Becker's intervention. Buren harbors deep contempt for Becker, whom he perceives as a coward for remaining office-bound rather than engaging in frontline justice. In addition to Kasper, the team also detains Fedor and the other men found on the premises for further questioning. The anti-gang squad begins an interrogation process with Fedor and the others, but their efforts yield no valuable leads. The culprits are well aware that the police lack any tangible evidence against them, and as such, they choose to remain tight-lipped. Consequently, Becker notifies Buren that they can only hold the suspects for an additional 24 hours. If no evidence materializes within that time frame, they will be obligated to set them free. Moreover, he admonishes Buren about the inefficacy of his methods, redirecting him to focus on other responsibilities within the precinct rather than pursuing criminals. Come nightfall, Buren seeks out Cartier, expressing his need for assistance in the ongoing investigation. They make their way to the station, where Buren presents security camera footage. They uncover that Nadia, the victim of the robbery, was recording the jewelry store's surroundings, leading them to suspect her involvement with the thieves. However, the reason behind her murder remains unclear. As they browse Nadia's online photographs, they find her in the company of a man with ties to the criminal underworld. When Margaux arrives a short while later, Buren requests her to gather more details regarding Nadia's personal life. The following day, due to a lack of substantial evidence, Kasper is released. Contrarily, Buren notifies Becker that the actual culprit is not Kasper, but Ilan, Nadia's former boyfriend. Subsequently, Becker convenes a meeting with all the officers to brief them about Ilan's notorious background and his potential threat. He reveals that Ilan and his crew are ex-mercenaries, highly skilled and armed, thus they must be apprehended promptly. Simultaneously, the criminal group gears up for another store robbery. The moment the alarm rings, the police are notified, and they hasten to the location. Becker instructs Buren and his team to remain within the precinct confines. Meanwhile, they unearth that Nadia was an employee at the burgled jewelry store and had resigned just 10 days prior to the crime. Unwilling to sit idly, Buren rallies the anti-gang team and they set out towards the store currently under threat. They are conscious that this disobedience might provoke Becker's wrath and invite penalties, but their sole focus is thwarting the criminals. Upon reaching the store, Becker and the special unit find it deserted. Unexpectedly, the criminals emerge from a neighboring store, holding a hostage. They're spotted by Buren and his team, resulting in a shootout. One officer from the anti-gang squad gets wounded, prompting the criminals to escape. They pile into their vehicle and take off, while Buren urges his team not to relent, but pursue them relentlessly. The criminals are brought to a halt at a traffic signal, where the anti-gang unit resumes firing. In response, the criminals abandon their car, opting to escape on foot. The anti-gang unit continues to tail them relentlessly as the exchange of gunfire carries on. The surrounding bystanders are gripped by terror as the gunfight ensues. The anti-gang team makes concerted efforts to usher them to safety while simultaneously confronting the criminals. The felons continue their escape and, at one juncture, split paths. In response, Buren directs his team to also divide, which leaves Cartier pursuing a single offender on his own. Buren chases the remaining criminals, one of whom takes a hostage. Yet Buren skillfully shoots the criminal, forcing him to collapse. Simultaneously, Cartier is chasing another offender across a bridge. The offender trips, and Cartier commands him to stay put. In a sudden twist, the criminal raises his hands in surrender, only to dive off the bridge, seize a moped, and speed off. Buren, Margaux, and the rest of the team arrive beneath a parking lot at Reno, hot on the trail of the criminals. Out of nowhere, a car roars to life and reverses swiftly, colliding with Buren. In a fit of rage, Margaux draws her weapon and fires at the car, soon exhausting her ammunition. The offender picks up a fallen gun and shoots her without batting an eye, before calmly driving away, leaving a greeting for Buren. Buren recognizes this gesture from Kasper back at the station, indicating that it must be him. In the following events, it is revealed that Margaux succumbed to her injuries, leaving the entire team in a state of profound grief, Buren most of all. In a heartfelt conversation, Buren shares with Cartier their need to find Kasper. However, Cartier responds with a grim reality. The Antigang unit no longer exists, they've been defeated. Shortly, Becker arrives and declares Buren under arrest for disregarding orders and endangering his officers. Moreover, he discloses that he had perused Margaux's conversations with Buren and was aware of her infidelity. Becker mandates Buren's arrest and subsequent confinement in a cell. Later, Becker himself physically assaults Buren for personal grievances. Back home, Cartier is deeply despondent. His wife, noticing his state, approaches him with gentle advice. If he is unwell, it will affect her and their child similarly. She encourages him to complete the mission he started with the Antigang. Acting upon this, Cartier connects with a friend of Buren's who takes him to the doctor attending to Ilan, a member of the criminal crew. The doctor reveals Ilan's hideout, prompting Cartier to head there. He reaches a workshop where he initially engages in a skirmish with a burly man. After subduing him, Cartier delves deeper into the workshop, unearthing irrefutable evidence against the robbers. Ilan arrives soon after, initiating a fight with Cartier. Despite Ilan initially dominating, Cartier eventually gains the upper hand, trapping him under a car and putting an end to him. Cartier returns to the police station, presenting Becker with the damning evidence against the criminal gang and implicating Kasper as the orchestrator behind the scenes. Cartier pledges to apprehend Kasper that very day, but he insists on needing Buren's aid. Buren is consequently released and begins discussing their strategy against Kasper with Cartier and Becker. Buren puts forth the assertion that Kasper is plotting his largest heist yet for that day. Following a previous bank robbery, the authorities attempted to relocate the cash and gold to a secure location. But Kasper and his gang were able to track them down and made off with the entire haul. This time, however, the police are ahead of Kasper's scheme and catch him off guard as he and his gang attempt to flee from a building. Law enforcement officers seal off all potential escape routes, and a gunfight promptly breaks out. Kasper makes a run for it, but Buren is hot on his heels. Unexpectedly, Kasper manages to get the drop on Buren, and he unloads a volley of bullets into him. Fortunately, Buren is protected by a bulletproof vest and survives the onslaught. Seizing his opportunity, Buren lunges at Kasper, grappling him as they both tumble to the ground. Ultimately, the entire gang, including a critically injured Kasper, is apprehended. The mission for the Antigang unit is accomplished, and with a sense of resolution, Buren and Cartier exit the scene. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more next videos like this.